Does this timer work?
We got
Yes,
one.
sir.
It's 1,000 volts.
Tase me right down like the
Yeah.
police force, huh?
It's 2.5 minutes. The current starts building.
Get me done, huh?
Go ahead.
All right, hi, I'm Keith Olson, guys, from CRAP, Criminalized Racketeering Against Patients. I'm here today because the Carroll County Sheriff J.B. Gardner is operating a criminal enterprise sanctioned by the Criminal Code. This county builds the corporation's criminal code based on a political agenda that's enforced by J.B. Gardner's militia. J.B. Gardner can no longer justify himself or his practices. If he can't justify his team, it might be time that we think about dismantling it. I'm here trying to expand the domains of freedom and justice by dismantling this form of illegitimate authority. I think we can all clearly see some very serious defects and flaws in Carroll County's criminal codes, specifically the Sheriff's Department, which I'll personally attempt to correct, operating outside the traditional framework that is commonly accepted. The attorneys are the criminals, not me. Henry Myers, in my opinion, attempted to extort me for $4,000. And I want to know if this is lawful or not under the code of this county. Mr. Myers sends out form letters to his victims of this racket. I contacted him for help. He didn't call me back. Finally, after weeks, he came about 5 o'clock the night before, told me I needed $2,500 cash for him, and to bring another $1,500 cash with me for the fine. I'm submitting a written complaint today and expect that this commission to stop the sick, greedy attorney and report his conduct. I don't believe this corporation has the authority under the United States Constitution to limit my freedoms. You know, it takes freedom of speech, for example. One of the real achievements we have in American society, freedom of speech. We're the first in the world with that. Freedom of speech is not in the Constitution. It's not in the Bill of Rights. Freedom of speech issues began to come in the Supreme Court in the early 20th century. Some major contributions came from the 60s and civil rights. By then we had a mass popular movement that was demanding rights, refusing to back down, and in that context, the Supreme Court established a pretty high standard for freedom of speech. We all still enjoy today. Other examples, Jim Crow laws, women's rights, gay marriage, cannabis, even witchcraft. Women also began identifying oppressive structures. Refusing to accept code, women invited other people to join with them. That's how rights are run. One. The 21st century brings crap to Carroll County and Carroll County to federal court. I believe this litigation will end with a $500,256,925 million judgment in the Court of Claims bankrupting this county. I believe the war on drugs is over, and with all wars, sanctions need to be drawn. We hunt Nazis 70 years after the Nuremberg trials to the end of the world for the atrocities they've committed. And I have one last sentence, if that's all right. One sentence or two. I will pray for the officer that passed this week while enforcing the criminal code. And I would also suggest implementing a much less aggressive policing policies in this county in his honor. And I do thank you. Is there any questions or anything y'all would like to know?
No. What does CRAP stand for?
Criminalized Racketeering Against Patients.
Against patients?
Yes, sir.
Is it like PATINTS?
Yes, sir. It's a nonprofit. I assist disabled people.
Where do you live?
Right now, I've located a property here. I'm signing a lease today and continue to get into it. They're giving me a lot of problems about doing things here as far as Freedom of Information Acts and fighting my case and doing my trial. And I'm very upset about the treatment I've received on the interstate. And at this point, I'm thinking about throwing my hat in the ring for sheriffs. Move down here and get on the ballot.
You said you signed, you were in the process of signing a lease today. Where is your residence as of this time for that lease?
I met a guy at the Craigslist, off of Craigslist, and gave him a couple $100 for a lease and moved in to establish residency. I'm in the process of looking for more suitable long-term.
Where were you before you went through the process? Where did you live?
I'm from Detroit, Michigan.
Thank you. I just wondered.
Yes, sir. And I had a lot of problems coming down through here. I got pulled over. Yanked out of the car. I was speeding a couple miles an hour over the speed limit, just like the guy last week. 6 cop cars of 100 miles an hour, flying, doing donuts, turning around. Cop cars, a scene out of Afghanistan on the side of the road.
All right, you get 3 minutes and then some. Thank you. All right, we'll just have to take under advisement.
Yes, sir, and I did leave the paperwork back for my request for a grand jury indictment. There's quite a few on the table out front, and I'm going to leave a few on this table right here as well, and I appreciate y'all's time. I'll be back here. I'm going to try to get on the agenda for next month and go a little deeper into this.
Thank you, Mr. Wilson.
Thank y'all. Have a great day. And I'll leave these here if anybody would like them. Thanks, guys.